Alright, what's up everybody? How's it going? It's Burke, aka Dansweight here, and welcome to this bonus session of Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions edition. I've taken how long has it been? Maybe 6 weeks? Something like that, break from the game. I completed all the story, watched the credits roll, had a great time, and I wanted to leave myself like one optional, supposedly the most difficult side quest of the game as a little treat for once I was done with the main game. And that's exactly what I'm going to tackle in this session. As luck would have it, it's almost August as of recording this, and we are in Leo season, apparently. So that's good stuff. Now, what I had to do was, if you go to the data here, and you have a look at all of these saves, basically this is the one that I had to load up. I don't think it makes a huge difference. Basically, we had these battles afterwards, but I think this is a bit of a point of no return. So all of these ones that I loaded up here for like the final stretch in Malond, I couldn't obviously go back. They were kind of in between. And so I believe the earliest one that I could load up was this one. So we're a few levels lower than what we literally saw the credits roll with. But hopefully it shouldn't matter too much. Now, I don't really know anything about this final quest other than the fact that it's called Midlight Steep and the fact that we need to get to this place to trigger things off. And so that's what we're going to do. In terms of how difficult it is, I don't know. Like, is everything automatically like a level 80 plus in there? Is everything level 99 in there? Is everything scaled again to Ramza? So whatever his level is, it's just going to be a plus or minus or whatever, like some kind of amount. We're going to find all of those things out. And so before having a look at all of this business, I think let's just see if we can get down there, trigger what's probably going to be some kind of scene/dialogue, and then we'll keep moving. Now, it's also worth mentioning that for the side quests, some of them have been original Final Fantasy Tactics side quests, and some of them have been War of the Lions special side quests. And I've tried to kind of make it clear when that's been the case. For this one, this is actually, I thought this one was War of the Lions exclusive as well, but unless I'm mistaken, if I am, I will annotate it, but it should be a quest that was present in the original game as well. So we're going to end with something that's been there from the very start. So I put my save state in just so I can try and safely get to this bit. I might need to reload it a few times, but let's get going with this final session of Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions edition. That's a great start. Fantastic start. Yep, of course. Welcome back. I don't really have any money. If we need to buy some stuff, I don't have it, but we'll just have to see. I did miss this music. 'Twas a greater success than could have been foreseen. I mean not to boast, but I dare say our success owed itself to me. Even Count Minimus has fallen on hard times, eh? Then the legends speak true. Treasure sleeps on that island. Aye, that it does. Treasure beyond worth. Down in the depths, out of sight and reach. It's bound to be guarded by traps, no? Else it would sleep in some noble's vaults by now. More than traps. A wizard, if talk be true. Soul as dark as the caverns he calls home. No thank you is what I say to that, then. A man would have to be a fool to go down there. 'Tis no place for the craven, that much be true. To enter is to bid goodbye to the light of day. What did they call the place again? Midlight's Deep, and rightly so. How so? 'Twas I who saw the task completed. You? What did you do but almost get us... What are you looking at? Be on your way. This is no show. Okay, we got the info we needed. He didn't even interact with them, he found out what he needed to find out. And yes, the path is open to Midlight's Deep. So, I think obviously before heading in, we should still have a look at this stuff. It has been a little while here. I think I remember getting to a place where I was pretty happy with how things were going, honestly. And it wasn't like crazy difficult. I think like the last kind of storyline stuff that we faced, honestly, it was perfectly fine. So I'm not too worried here. I think we should be okay. So I'm just going to head right in, I think, and just see how we do. Now, because this is one that was in the OG game as well, I don't mind using my OG characters. I have been doing side quests with like some of the other party members that we picked up. Like Orlando and like, of course, Balthea and stuff like that. So they've all had a little showing. Cloud came in a little late, and the fact that he comes in at level 1 just made him a lot more difficult to work with. But we'll see how it goes. If it turns out that the level in there is absolutely crazy and I have to just go in with simply the strongest team that I can come up with, then I might have to change a few things around, and I might need to use people like Orlando, and honestly Meliador was very strong. Balthea, probably all in, is going to be more effective than Mustadio if we give him the same stuff, so we'll take a look at all of that stuff, but for now I think I want to stay true to my OGs that have seen me through the whole story, and we'll see if these guys can conquer Midlight Steep. So let's just head in and see what the difficulty level of this place is going to be. The crevasse. Alright, straight in. 5 positions. Alright. So I've got to get used to things again. Has been a little while. I have been editing, obviously, a lot of the episodes that I've been recording, but still, in terms of actually just being hands-on and playing, it has been, I think, at least about 6 weeks. Alright, let's kick off the final side quest of the game, the crevasse in Midlight's Deep. Well, towards Midlight's Deep, maybe. Defeat all enemies. And is it really this dark? What? Okay, that's cool. So we have the different tiers like this. Wow, that's really neat. I mean, I've been talking about this game kind of being like 3D chess from the beginning, and obviously within the same plane they've done a lot of different things, but here, like, they really seem like they're extending it out, and I really, that's kind of one thing I kind of wish there was more of. Just like really unique battle environments like this one. It's dark, it's like multi-tiered. Wow. I guess with teleport we can map out the area a little better than normal. What we should do actually is look at the levels that we're dealing with. If it's like level 99 or whatever, then we're already kind of screwed. 55, okay, that's good. It looks like they're scaled potentially to Ramza. He's a 49. These guys are 4 to 6 levels higher than Ramza, I think. Yeah, well, some of them are only 1 or 2. Okay. I think that means that we should be able to take them on with the levels that we have, and if we lose, it's probably our own fault rather than being too underleveled. So that's a good sign. But I don't know if it just automatically ramps up, and then it's going to be like level 70 by the time we get to the end. But we'll take it one step at a time, and just see how far we get. So... Damn, it's busy down there. Okay. I think for now, we just chill. It's going to be a long way down. And obviously if you don't have a lot of jump, you're going to be quite stuck. I think let's start doing some of this stuff anyway. I like the music. I think Mustadio could definitely be useful here as well. Obviously going to have some good range. Can already make a shot, but this will be blocked. Yeah. Fine, so he can't make a shot yet, but he will soon. Alright, let's see what they can do. Of course they've got great movement, look at that. Bounding up. But I don't think they have range in terms of their attacks. Remains to be seen. So maybe I keep these guys up here, honestly, and just have them provide, like, cover fire from up there. Yeah, since he might lead the line, let's just do that. Right. Oh. So, is this dark, and there's traps as well? Fish. just one random knight among them as well. Alright, now the good thing here is that this guy obviously maps out the entire arena. So that's good to see. But yeah, the scale of this place, like, and the difference in elevation is pretty epic. Now, can he get to somewhere like here, maybe? Nice. Okay, that's a start. Let's see how well his summons do from here. Not bad. It's another one where I can't tell how much damage it'll do. Yeah, they all have the same range from what I remember, basically. Yeah, Odin is a huge amount of MP, so maybe we just start that. They have less range. Yeah, his MP is a little crap. We need to figure that out. I think I'll move him one more time before I go for something. But yeah, I'm already kind of engaged here. Like, seeing the darkness of this arena and the size and the elevation of it and stuff. Let's see what we can do. And well, I'm relieved that the levels aren't like crazy high. These guys are chilling. It's good to be back, yeah? Okay, so Ramza can now come in and try and do his first set of attacks. Obviously, it could be that he's gonna get hit way too many times and get himself killed, but let's just see. Maybe I go for this one. He does have concentration, so he can kind of kill... He can hit everything. Okay, that's a good sign. I do want to dive down too far into there for now. Yeah, a lot of this stuff is kind of... Because of the high walls around them, he can't actually make these shots. Okay, he can make this one. That's something. Dude has over 400 health, so we've got to get a move on. And Agris has some good range in her attacks, but she has to... Fine. Hello, Bolt. That's still enough as well, that's nice. Let's go for it. Silenced. Alright, what you got? It's going to come in for the first attack. 105. It's pretty heavy. Auto potion, yeah. That's not too bad. That guy's going to get himself killed there. And Ramza with haste as well. He's really getting those turns fast. Ninja plus haste is just excellent combination. Oof. Okay. I think honestly we just got to let these guys come to us for now. That's not a lot of damage. Good block. Okay. If he could have reached... Yeah, if he could have reached Richard as well, then we would have been in big trouble. But I think we're okay. So I'm going to keep these guys together, I think, and kind of not move them down too far. Alright, Richard's in a little danger here. Maybe I need to move him back up. Yeah. These kind of places are where teleport's really helping us out. Alright, what kind of damage? 118. Turn 10. Ish. Yeah, it's too slow. Let's just do that. Yeah, so these guys, I think they're going to kind of chill out down the bottom and we'll have to go and get them at the end, but that's fine. It's just less chance of us being overwhelmed with damage. That's fine. They don't have the movement to get to me particularly fast. But I think this first one should be in the bag. I'm not too worried here. Yeah, concentrate plus dual wield here is just so huge. Did survive it though. Well played. I think Agrius has to make sure here. Okay. We need to be careful of this, of like knights destroying any important equipment as well. 61. Nice. Alright, I think with that we should be pretty much in control here. Nice. Alright, strong start from the squad. He's going to make a swift retreat. But I think Ramza just needs to get down there and just start taking care of things here. Yeah, even this guy, I thought he'd take less damage even if he was allowed to be hit. Yeah, these guys don't really have the jump. But I think in order to keep gaining levels, we should just still keep doing stuff. I do wonder how many stages it is. Alright, first hit. It's a 40. It will be okay. Don't know if it's worth trying to get some equipment from the knight. I'll wait until there's like one person left, like one enemy left. Good auto potion. I should have probably checked my X potion stocks here, but I'm assuming with how little money I have left, I probably stocked up for the finale of the game. Alright, Agrius. She's got enough HP to just get into the action as well. That would be fine. Okay. So I think as I have been doing, like if a fight looks really kind of sealed, then I'm happy to just start skipping stuff in editing or just like using the speed up animations and stuff. I'm pretty sure we're good here. Alright, what does he have? He has a rune blade. He's got... honestly, I don't think I want any of his stuff. I'm just going to go ahead and try to finish the fight if I can. I'd rather do that. So don't spend time dallying around. If it turns out that, as I say, we become super underleveled, then we'll take a different approach, but... for now, I'm not going to add an extra 10 minutes to every fight, just waiting for things to die. If they had something particularly special, then yes, but... yeah, that auto potion is just so good. Yeah. So for these ones, we're just going to start to just wait. Can he make this shot? Surely this one. No. Okay, so here's our first fight of Midlight's Deep, and we look like we handled it pretty well. Is there going to be any dialogue for this one? Ramza hasn't said a word yet so far. 42,000, nice. So, do we leave and come back? Probably. So while I'm here, I'm going to start to set up a few new saves. It's nice that they kind of let you do that, I guess. If something starts to overwhelm you, you can kind of go back and give it another go. Alright, so back here. Outfits. Let's have a double check of what we got here. I think it was the black garb that I'd like to have, making you immune to stop. I'd rather have some more just in case. And let's double check how many of these we got. Yeah, we've got plenty. High ether, I want to buy a little more. Remedy, holy water, just in case. Alright. I think that's good. What happens if we just go back? And so once again, we're in the whole, well, what do we do to progress the quest here? I mean, it's right there. Let's go to the rumors. No. So yeah, again, to not waste my time, I'm just going to go in and have a look here. It's already not that intuitive to me. Because they were talking about, obviously, the treasure there and the wizard and all that shit. And I'm just like, just let me keep going. What am I missing here? Maybe I didn't activate something, like within the battle itself, there's something you need to do, which I didn't. So let's find out. This is a lengthy bonus dungeon with high-level enemies and a variety of treasures that can only be found here in single player. Unlike the treasure tiles on story battle maps, the ones here have traps for those not equipped with the chemist treasure hunter. Once the treasure is picked up, the traps will affect even those units as well. Okay, there are special rules for these maps. First, the terrain is completely shrouded in darkness, which you know. Some ability effects can briefly light up the area, but the only permanent light sources are the crystals that drop after a unit's death. It will take multiple crystals to fully light up the battlefield. Ah, that's kind of interesting. This reminds me of the Pharos, actually, the whole like crystals and the light and shit. That's cool. Here, let's see. Okay, holding the square button without a unit selected can also help pick out enemies you might lose in the darkness. Time Mage's teleport ability will light up every removal site, so we know all of that. Proceed to dungeon. Your units have to find a passage leading... So that's literally the last thing I predicted before looking up. There are generally no particular visual clues as to where the passages are, though they tend to be at the far end of the map. Standard battle rules apply. And so this has to be done with at least one enemy unit still active. You must find the passage before victory to open the next door, otherwise you'll have to start that floor over again. So that's the hook. That's what we needed to do. That's what I was missing. Obviously a bit of a unique one compared to some of the rest, but that's cool. Alright, so it's literally my birthday in the game. I mean, it's Leo season and it's 11. I assume that means August the 11th. It's actually my birthday in War of the Lions. Nice. So what I want to do now, because I know that this is a thing, I need to try and see if I can put some treasure hunter on. Yeah, so ignore elevation is really nice, and it helps him attack. I think we'll give it to Mustadio. But obviously we don't know where the thing is going to be. Like the treasure could be. So that's the tough part. So I'm going to try Germanus boots plus... So we'll have Ramza as well doing that. And we'll just see what happens. Because now I remember where the tile is. So I'm going to try and get there first. And was that around here somewhere that we needed to go? Oh, it's pure goblins? That's kind of funny. That suits me. Yeah, so I think the finding the passage part of this whole situation is going to be a pain in the ass. I can see that that's going to be a thing, but we'll have to do our best. I'm going to try and get Agris to start wiping some of these guys as best I can. And we're going to try to explore, obviously, the deepest parts of it. That I have to assume that the deeper parts are more likely to yield a passage. Ah, sprung a trap. It's a shame that the first treasure I found, they talked about supposedly, oh, there's unique treasures only found here and blah, 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 but yeah. Okay, so there's only one left. You can see like the battlefield is completely strewn with enemies here. Now we need to figure out where the passage is. Obviously my assumption is it's got to be down here somewhere. If I just teleport there, what happens? I guess that's not the passage. I can try. Oh, of course it was his turn next, for God's sake. Of all the things that could have had a turn next, it was him. I couldn't be bothered to check, and that's what I get. So this one, we have to kind of make sure we don't kill him. Let's hit it with a Divine Ruination. So now I'm going to try and get Ramza and Mustadio to also just spend some time kind of hitting as many tiles as they can. So I'm continuing the search at the moment. This is the other corner. So it did say supposedly there's no kind of logic to where they are. Like they tend to be on the later end, but there's no exact thing for where they are, which is kind of weird, but okay. Now we have a bit of a turn order issue with this guy. I think he always follows me. Okay, needs to be less than turn 4. This will do. Get the slow. Nice. Alright, how do we get out of this place? Nice. Okay. So at least for now we're free to explore, but so far at least no sign of the exit. Ah, so there's the crystal illumination thing, which is really cool. But, as I say, like, there's no visual indicator on the map, I think, of where the passage is. So we're going to have to look for it. But I love the crystal illumination idea, it's super cool. So until we find that first one, we're not really going to know how to do it, but at least with this one, with the free turns I have something to specifically try and do. And by that I mean I'm actually actively searching instead of just using a move for the sake of getting JP. So I'm probably going to move and wait until I find what I'm looking for. Damn, that's a lot of crystals. As I say, I don't think it helps our cause really, but maybe it's just a lot further up. That whole logic of they're likely down the bottom doesn't seem to work. I'll keep the crystals out, I don't really need the health, honestly. It's more of a pain in the ass to find than I thought, unfortunately. I mean, I feel like it's got to be on the edges somewhere or something like that, but... Oh! Yes, let's go! Okay, so, yeah, no logic in terms of... like going towards the end, like where the enemies are, the furthest, most distant, and I guess difficult point. My second thing was obviously looking for things by walls and on the edges of the map, but we're just going to have to keep doing it this way. It's a little bit of a pain, and I'll probably just edit out. I'll just leave one enemy, and then just go hunting, and I'm sure we'll figure it out. So there we go. So you find the passage deeper, and then you can do it. Now we can finish off the enemy, from what I've understood. Hopefully I've got this right. Shouldn't take too long. Oh, really? Let's see. Go. Okay, and with this, we should be able to finish it off. Okay, so now we've properly cleared the first level of Midlight's Deep. I don't know how many of these there are. Oh, we did it. So now, hopefully, we can move along. But this means that if you fail, the cost is pretty steep.